Come on, man. Accountant 2, Ben Affleck. I ain't gonna lie, man. I liked it. I thought it was a great film. But I need to get your take, man. Um, Before we get into Accountant 2, did you see the first one?
Before we get into the first one, I wanted to give a shout out to where I'm at right now. This is, what's the name of this location? Village
Village Parkway.
Village Parkway 9. It's a beautiful. You got your family, your friends, you're on date night, whatever. This is one of the coolest spots to come in Dallas, Texas. Um, and of course, I got my Maduro here. What was the question again?
Did you see the first one?
Mm. Honestly, to watch this film, to watch two, I recommend that you watch the first one first. I did get a chance to see the first one. The first one is incredible. It's incredible. I'll tell you why. The first one gives you a complete backstory, what's going on in the second one. That's basically the difference. The reason it's called The Accountant. I don't personally know that if I watched this one first, I would get 100% understanding of why they call him the accountant. But the first one does. The first one, and another thing, you learn a lot of stuff too. You learn a few things in this one, also in the second one, the one we just watched. But the first one, a lot of accounting stuff you learn,
What you
like
think?
practical accounting stuff.
What you think about Ben? I thought Ben was great.
When I was watching the first one, I kept coming to this idea of why didn't Jason Statham do this? But
Jason Statham.
yeah, every time I said that to myself while I was watching the first one, I said, because I don't think that he could pull off the what's the word I want to use? The autism part as well as I think Ben Affleck did it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. He pulled that off. He pulled that off very well.
Hmm.
Obviously, Jason can kick some butt, but
Jason could have done it. He could have done it. But that one little part, that one little character is where you needed is where you needed that stiffness of Ben Affleck
and you saying Ben obviously could have put it off a little better than Jason.
on that part. Jason, action, everything about action, got it. Everything about romantic quirkiness, Jason got that. Uh, for example, the dance scene that we had in the second one, Jason could have done that equally as well. The relationship with the brother, I don't think Jason could have. I don't think that would have been a good pairing.
What you think about the brother? I like the brother.
You would love, you like the brother in this one, you would love the brother in the first one. You should title this one Accountant 1 and 2, actually. Because I really do, I really am going to be giving a full review on both of them. The brother, the just, I've been watching a lot of movies lately that are like buddy movies. Less so with, I'm getting ready to save the girl, but more so with like guys. Like they've been making a lot of movies like that where it's kind of just like two buds getting the job done. Maybe they've always made movies like that, and I just haven't really paid attention to them.
It ain't nothing wrong with showing a little brotherly love, but we got to keep our eye on the mission. Obviously, they had a job to do. But I thought the
Mm-hmm.
brother was dope. I thought he was real good.
Mm-hmm.
What you think about the female cop? Obviously, she trying to do things by the books, and you got to do things right when you're trying to solve a case.
The female cop, Miss Bedina. So the second one took place 8 years from the first one. So the first one was 8 years ago from the second one, and she looked it. when you talk about when I talk about female character, I'm always gonna reference how they look. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Okay.
she she looked younger. She was naive. She has a past too. That's another reason why you got to check out the first one to understand how she even got in that role anyway. There was a scene in the second one where they talk about, I got you this part, I got you this job
Yeah,
where
I
the
remember
counselor.
he referenced hooking her up with the
Yeah.
job.
And so you see why in the first one. So she was a little slimmer, she was a little younger in the first one. Um and she looked, I thought she was going to be like the romantic lead in it, but you can tell that he's not going to be getting a romantic lead like anytime soon.
You
He's
thought
still a
she
work in progress.
would be a romantic lead with Ben Affleck character.
When I first saw it, when I first saw the first one, because they introduce her. She comes into the office. She has on her suit, and she's looking good and she's attractive. So I'm automatically thinking, oh, okay, they're gonna meet, and he's gonna have to try to save her. But no, it was a lot of twists and turns, and that's what another thing I loved about this film is that there's a lot of hidden gems in it that you think it's going one way, and then it flips it on you and it goes a completely different way. The example with the children, when you watch the first one, I mean, you're like, at the end, you're like, whoa, I'm not gonna give it away. I'm not gonna give it away. But the ending in the first one, you're just like wow, you know what I'm saying, in relationship to the children and where they're from and everything.
That's why it obviously had to be a second one
Mm-hmm.
based on that.
Do you remember when the first one was made? Was it like a long time ago?
I don't remember, man.
Yeah, I
I
don't
remember
remember either.
seeing it, but I don't remember when it came out. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
they'll let you know in the comments.
Yeah,
Um,
please, somebody let me know.
do you think it should be a 3? You know, a lot of people, John Wick and a lot of other people get these iconic characters. You know, they could franchise this thing. You know, he didn't die, her brother didn't die, cop still alive,
Right,
children safe.
right,
Brother got the cat.
right,
You
right.
know, obviously you would go check out a 3 if they came out with another one.
I would. I would. I just request, if any of you studio execs, any of you writers, anybody out there, number one, I got it. Not number one. I guess this would be number 3 or 4. But I got to give a shout out to the writers on this. I thought the dialogue, and not just dialogue writing, but that's what I'm gonna focus on more with this compliment, is the dialogue writing. I thought the the way that you conveyed emotion in this film for me through dialogue and through just body language and communication, I thought it was spot on. So if any of you guys see who wrote that are watching, man, I just want to give a shout out to it. I thought it was incredible. I'm sorry, what was your question again about the third one?
Yeah, you think it's gonna be a 3,
Mm,
or because I definitely go watch it if it was.
the I just that's what I was gonna say. I just hope that the writers put in. I think it would stop at 3. It doesn't have to, but I just hope the writers will put in some more of the accounting stuff, because you guys gave me somebody who is always trying to improve your personal finances and personal wealth and business strategy and ways that you can contribute and receive. You put a lot of that in this film. In the second one, is more so. So there was a scene where they go to this pizzeria. They like this guy manufactures frozen pizzas, right?
Correct.
And so you get to see a little bit of Chris is the lead character. Uh, you get to see a little bit of his skills when he's talking to the owner of this restaurant, or the owner of this pizza manufacturer, about his business in relationship to taxes. So you get to see a little bit about some some inside works of what people do, right? And then another one for in the second one, they about how people who come from other parts of the country can come into the United States in ways they can, especially if they're a family or they have children or anything, ways they can help their accounting as well. In the first one, he does it a lot, and you're just like taking notes. You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
lot more in the first one.
Yes, yes. But no, if they made a third one, it would be. I just asked they would add a little bit more of that. The action is incredible. I like that it's not so much like John Wick. That
It's not as much
he's
kicking butt in John Wick. John Wick is a whole lot more fighting.
well in the first one he does a lot more physical fighting, and they explain how he knows how to do it and why he knows how to do it. So it goes into that backstory also. So he does a lot more hand to hand, and they're great scenes. They're awesome.
Why you didn't think they added as much in the second one?
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Because they had less guns in the. He had a closet. Well, you saw it in the second one. He had all those guns, but he didn't really use a lot of guns in the first one. He pretty much was a suppressed handheld pistol, like a 45. I wish I could go into depth about like the types of guns. I wish our other buddy was here. He could go into detail about what kind of gun he used. But yeah, in this one, so it was more hand to hand, and then of course the suppressor, and then in this one it had more rifles, and long distance shooting in it. So that was cool. The reason I say it's not like John Wick is because okay, his brother is more like John Wick because his brother is more of an assassin.
You're more of a straight killer.
He's more of a straight killer. You hire him to get a particular job done. I'm talking about his character, right? And then Chris's character, Ben, is more about the books. But every now and then, because of his personality, he has to get stuff done. And the way he knows how to get stuff done is with combat and using his firearm also.
It's like he won't kill, Ben or Chris character, he don't want to kill, but he will, break an arm or break a jaw if he needs to get some information after Pizza Place.
Exactly. With no remorse, because his personality, and you guys, when you watch it, some of you guys already know his personality from watching the first one, is that his brain doesn't think that way. He doesn't, he's like Rain Man for you older heads in there who remember Rain Man. Again, because I didn't really explain about the John Wick comparison. John Wick, I related to more like a brother because the brother knew how to use those firearms. You could tell that he had way more experience with it, and I thought that was a really cool because Chris's character, he's not as smooth. He's because he doesn't use it as much as his brother. So I thought that was a real cool point. So in the third one, you'll probably see, if they make a third one, you'll probably see him truly advance his gun knowledge and how to use it and make more cool looking choreography with the guns.
So if 3 come out, you definitely going to watch 3.
Definitely. But yeah, and then the bad guys.
What you think about the bad guys? It wasn't nobody I was really afraid of in this. I mean, like, oh my God, this killer is so scary. I really didn't feel that in this.
That was the same in the first one also. They didn't design them like that. They made it more that the bad guys hire people to get jobs done, but these people also, are real people. So there's not like really that fear. you know, of just being really scared or playing the dark music when they come around, right? But what I do like, and what I am a fan of, is I have this idea that some people get the job done by just force. If I own a business and I want to get rid of my competition, then I hire people to get that done, uh, so I can come up. And that's the bad guys in this one, is that they were like bosses.
Gotcha.